I guess I was having a bad day, maybe fighting with my sister, bickering with my mom. But my stepdad was heading into town, and I said, "Can I go with you?" I was needed cigarettes, and so I hitched a ride with him into town. He dropped me off on the main street, and I went into the store and got my cigarettes and visited with people I knew. And then I walked up the main street and out of town. Then I saw this van come out of town, and he did that whole double take, brake check thing. And I thought to myself then, I should just get up and walk away, just go home. Yeah, I didn't do it. Fateful decision, but I didn't do it. I went up to the van and he was asking questions. "Do you want to go for a ride?" was the first one. "Well, no, thank you. I don't go for rides." And do you have a cigarette, or do you know where I can get some pot, something like that? Conversation to keep me there, because I'd started to walk away once. And I said, "Well, I have to go. I've got to go home." He said, "Well, I'll give you a ride home." Stupid. Get into the van with a stranger when you're not supposed to, and that's what I did. He pulled off the road into like this little meadow with with bushes on both sides and got out of the van. Then he came in the door behind me and he put a knife to my throat. And that's when the disbelief started. It went on all night long. He tied me, cut my bra off, used it for a gag. I can't tell you how long we drove around. All I know was I was terrified, and I knew that bad things were going to happen to me. And then he got out, came into the back through the side door, and carried me out of the van, carried me into the woods. Dropped me between two trees, and then he left, and he came back, and he looped a rope around my head and tied it to the tree, and then he looped another rope under my knees and tied it to another tree, and then he slugged me in the face, in the eye. He hit me so hard, I swear to God, I saw stars. These two trees right here. This is where he had me tied. When my head fell free, I got on my knees and I picked up the rope that was connecting me to that tree. And when it broke, I got up on my feet and I hopped away. I hopped right out this way to the path, and I looked back the way he brought me, and I went this way. I came to some barbed wire fence, and I laid down and went under the fence. Big field, some cows, no houses, nothing around at all. I heard noise in the woods behind me, sounding like somebody was looking for something but trying to be quiet. I bet I stood there for 2 hours after the sound stopped and didn't move, just waiting, scared to death. He was waiting to hear me move. I stood up the whole night with my back against the post, trying to get the ropes off my wrist. Just at the, when you can just barely see the light on the horizon, but it's still dark out, I decided I needed to move and get out of there. So I went underneath that barbed wire fence and I hopped about 3 steps and I fell. My feet got tangled up in the bushes, the brambles, and I just stayed. I didn't have the strength to get up. I must have slept for a couple of hours. When I woke up, it was barely sunrise. So I made my way out of the bushes. It was the Parks Department. Of course, I didn't know that at the time. And I started out, made my way down here to this door, and I tried to open it. Came to this door. There was a clock on that wall right there. There was no wire in the glass. Door was locked. Couldn't get it open. Thought about breaking the glass, didn't know how. The clock said 10 minutes to 7. So I just sat down on the step. And I didn't sit there very long, just a few minutes. And I heard a vehicle coming up the drive out of sight. and I wanted to just get up and run. I didn't have any place to go. And I think at that moment I gave up. I just thought, whatever. If it's him, it's him. There's nothing I can do. I can't do anything else. A small pickup truck pulled into the parking lot, parked across from me. And this man got out. I guess I was pretty beat up. My eye was black. The white was red where the blood vessels was all broken. I had chewed half my lips off trying to get the ropes off. And the rope burn ran all the way up, so red, bloody. He could see, I think, that I was tied. And he just came up and with this look of puzzlement on his face, like, what the heck? And I just started crying. And I sat forward and showed him my wrists, and he cut the ropes off. The police came. I was in shock. My night of terror was over, but, a lifetime of, what's the word, destruction started after that.